Hey everybody, it's Brian Modansky of the Modansky Homes team at Keller Williams Realty, Charleston, Mount Pleasant. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a conversation I had with some new clients over the weekend. And one of their first questions for me was, how long does it take to buy a home? And I told them the situation varies from client to client, but there are some things you can do to, you know, cut the timeline down as best as possible. So the first thing I told them was, have you gotten your pre-approval? Have you had a conversation with the lender yet? And they told me they hadn't. So I sent them a list of lenders, the list of lenders I sent them, it wasn't because I had some sort of special agreement or referrals. It's basically because I've used these lenders before for clients and I've had a good relationship with them. They've done what they said they were going to do. They were good with follow-up. They requested things in a timely manner. They responded to emails quickly. They were available when I needed. A good lender is going to do those things. The worst thing that could happen is contacting a lender, an email or text, and it's just crickets. You get nothing. And you send a message again, and it's the same thing. That's why a good realtor, they build their relationships with certain lenders, and that's why they're forwarding. Those lenders want to continue getting our referrals, continue getting our business, continue to do well for us. So they're going to go a little above and beyond for people they have a good relationship with. So that's why we send a specific lender list across. So like I said, there's no hidden curveballs. There's nothing crazy for what we're doing. There's no referral fees. It's because we've had a good relationship. What makes a good lender? And like I said before, some of it is just as simple as they're good at answering their phone, they follow up on text messages, they respond to emails quickly, but a lot of it's other items. Sometimes it's requesting docs early enough in the process because they know that the underwriter's going to need it for their review. Getting their tax returns, it's getting statements from credit cards. The other reason why having conversations with lenders are important is, especially early in the process, is sometimes they see things on a credit report that you weren't aware of that can affect a credit score dramatically and pretty quickly. Sometimes it's just paying down one low balance credit card and a score shoots up, and all of a sudden the monthly payments change dramatically, the PMI rates change. I mean, I've seen $150 a month swings just off of correcting one or two small items on a credit report. And getting in the process early allows for those things to take place. A lot of times it's a first-time buyer that may be looking to buy a home, and if they're already late in the process, they don't have time to have those things corrected. So, like I said, get involved with the lender early. Take the list of approved lenders or preferred lenders from a realtor. Make a couple phone calls. Just like if you were to buy a car, you may go to a couple car dealerships to get the best price. Well, call a couple lenders. If you don't like the conversation, if they're not answering the questions straightforward, move on to the next one. It also allows you to do one other thing during that process. Because you haven't picked out a home and because they don't know your entire financial situation initially, they may not be able to give you exact payments or exact interest rates, but they should be able to give you ballparks at this point. What is the monthly payment going to be approximately? Based off of where your credit score is. And like I said, if they do things like help you with some things you may be able to clear up, that may shoot your score back up and put you into a different level and save you a couple bucks down the line, especially on the monthly payment or even what's required on the down payment. So again, talking with a good lender, they're going to go over these things with you. The next part really is, what type of loan are you going to be going for? Is it a conventional loan, a VA loan, an FHA loan, a USDA loan? Maybe it's a state program that's got some sort of down payment assistance. Maybe it's a NACA loan. For the most part, most loans are between 30 and 60 days. 60 days really is, for more of the rehabs or more involved down payment assistance. But even those can be done in, typically 30 to 45 days. An intricate rehab will take a little bit longer. And like I said, those could go as long as 55 to 60. But really the longest part of the process, which buyers aren't really often ready for, is actually finding the home. Some people do get lucky and they go out and they find that home on that first property and they fall in love. more times than not, that isn't the case. Sometimes it's several homes. Sometimes it's several weeks of homes. Sometimes it's an out-of-state buyer that's got to come back once or twice. Sometimes it's, like I said, it could be a day, it could be a week, it could be months, several months. So you really have to plan for that part. And there's also other factors, and sometimes it's something out of the buyer's hands. Like the seller, may have listed their property in March, and it's the middle of March. They got an offer that's acceptable to them, but they were hoping to stay throughout the end of the school year, and that's not until June 1st. So they need 90 days out, and the buyer agrees to it. So. But sometimes it's also the opposite. The buyer sometimes needs a little bit more time. Maybe they did their due diligence. They had those conversations with the lender right off the bat. They got all their ducks in a row, and they found that house right away. But they got 90 days left on their lease. And, they don't want to be carrying a mortgage payment and a lease payment on a rental if it's not necessary. Plus you also got to give 30 days notice. So there's in South Carolina. So when you're ending a lease, so there's a lot of factors that can change the timeline on how quickly a home can close. Like I said, cash could be as quick as 15 days. 10 to 15 days is not out of the ordinary. Conventional loan, once you've got an accepted offer, quickest 30 to 45 days. VA a little bit long, maybe it's 35 to 45. Same thing with the FHA loans. USDA is a little bit longer, typically 40 to 50 days, and then a rehab is typically 50 to 60 days. These are just averages and just what I've experienced. That they're not an exact timeline, but they are pretty average, and I've been doing this for about 12 years now. So, these are the things and the conversations you need to be having with your agent, with your lender in the process along the way, so that down the line there aren't any curveballs. The biggest mistake most buyers do is they start the home buying process by skipping the lender talk, skipping the pre-approval, and want to get straight into buying homes. And they go online, they start looking, they find something, they call an agent, they want to go see that property right away, but they haven't done their due diligence. They haven't contacted a lender. They haven't spoken to agents. They haven't found out the things that they should be doing to make sure they have a seamless process without curveballs. There's nothing worse for an agent to show a home and then find out that the buyer doesn't have the financial capability to do so. Financial situation and creditworthiness also does affect the timeline. Sometimes, like I said, it may be talking to a lender and having to pay a certain number of credit cards down to a certain point to get the score up to fit into a program. So these are a lot of things that can be avoided, avoid the delays in a closing, if they're taken care of up front. So a good agent, a good lender is going to take care of those for you. So if you're ready to start the process, or maybe you're already in the process, or maybe your process has already hit a snag and you're just not moving along, feel free to reach out. I have no problem sending you a list of lenders. I'm actually going to put it in the comments below. And we can have a conversation, find out where you're at, and get you moving along. So, and get you into that dream home. So, don't forget to subscribe. I have new videos coming out weekly. And if you want to talk today, my direct line's 843-628-8910. Thanks, everybody, and have a great day.